Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Inshallah, from today we will be starting the section on Hadith, and our reference book, as I mentioned before, is Mishkatul Masabi. And in this book, the first section of this book, because in this book the Hadith has been in three sections, with the title, and then after the title there is subtitle, and then this is firstly awwal, and firstly sani, and then the third one is firstly salas. So from our standpoint of view, we will only gonna do the ahadith in this book which is in firstly awwal, which because those hadiths are muttafaq alayh. Those hadiths are mentioned in both al-Bukhari and al-Muslim, and those hadiths are, we will choose which will be the knowledge that we need to have to follow our beloved messenger Mahmood sallallahu, and the format will be that we will recite the hadith, we will give a very brief explanation of the hadith, and then the results. So the hadith actual text will be with you. Results, anybody have results which can be different. So the most important part is that the wording of hadith will come as it is written in this book, and we'll mention the number which is mentioned for the hadith in Mishkatul Masabi, and we'll say the only firstly awwal hadith which are both in Bukhari and Muslim. So just to have because we have limited time. So the first hadith we will mention today, which is hadith in the chapter Al-Emaan, and the subheading of Kitabul Emaan is Emaan, and the heading is what is the section of the Emaan. So the chapter is Emaan, and the hadith number today is number 4 in Mishkatul Masabi, which is muttafaq alayh hadith, both in Bukhari and Muslim. وعن ابن عمر قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بني الإسلام على 5 شهادة أن لا إله إلا الله وأن محمدا عبده ورسوله وأقيم الصلاة وإيتاء الزكاة والحج وصوم رمضان متفق عليه. So Hazrat Umar Raziyallahu Ta'ala, Ibn Umar, Abdullah bin Umar Raziyallahu Ta'ala anhu has mentioned that he has heard from Rasulullah Sallallahu that the foundation of Islam is on 5 things. And what are 5 things? Number 1, you have to testify that there is no God except Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, and only Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is worthy of worship, and Muhammadur Rasulullah Sallallahu is his slave and messenger. And you have to establish salah, pay zakah on time, do your hajj when it's obligation on you, and also fast for the whole month of Ramadan. And we will just give a brief explanation of this beautiful hadith. In this hadith is mentioned that when we have to accept the faith, we have to accept the faith as being given by Rasulullah. Qala Rasulullah says, Qulu la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, and you will be successful. And this kalima, this la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, and this kalma that is mentioned in this hadith, that Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh, is that you have to make sure that you have full 100% faith on Tawheed and full 100% faith on Risala. You cannot mix the two, and you cannot subtract anything in these two. These are the 2 things that is required for you to live in this dunya and die on this kalma whenever the time of death comes. And in this section it is mentioned that the salah has to be established. It's not like we can do salah on our own. The system of salah has to be established, and with the how Rasulullah when he reached from Makkah to Medina, the first thing he has done is to build a masjid, because masjid is a place where salah can be established as a congregation, and the salah system of salah has to be in congregation, so we can be aware of how everybody is, and we need to fulfill this obligation collectively. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants this obligation to be filled collectively. Number 3 is the zakah is something that you have to pay in totality and on time. If you don't pay on time and if you don't pay on totality, then it is an obligation that will be hanging on your neck on the day of judgment. So it's very, very important that everybody has to calculate the zakat, whosoever is obligated to pay zakat, and pay zakat on time. Our exegetes have said that the best time to pay zakat is every month in Ramadan for yearly zakat that is obligated on. And number 4 is that as soon as the Hajj is obligated on someone, then he should not delay it. He should go to perform the Hajj as soon as the Hajj is obligated. So it is mentioned by the exegetes that you have to make sure that you have the niyyah as soon as the Hajj is obligated on you. So if by chance you don't get any chance to go there, at least Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept your niyyah, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is accept your niyyah if it is pure. And that is why the last section of our deen is Saum. And in this section, the Saum is obligation on us, because this is a very special ibadah which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will gonna reward by himself and according to his majesty, because the Saum is an ibadah which will teach us that how we have to live in this dunya. Fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as he is watching us for every action we are doing. He even knows what is in our heart. And in Saum, this is a practice that we need to learn. You may be alone and you are fasting, but you will not gonna break your fast because you know Allah is watching you. So this is the ibadah that will teach you how you have to spend your life which Allah has given you in this dunya, just like you are in a Saum. You are being watched 24/7, your actions being recorded 24/7 by the angels. But the final decision will be by your niyyah in your heart on the day of judgment, because only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what is truly in your heart and how you are doing some action. Either you are doing for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or you have some riya which can ruin your action. So this is the basis of our religion. This is the foundation of Islam, that we are obligated to know these 5 pillars inside out. We need to know all the ahkam of salah. We need to know all the ahkam of zakah. We need to know all the ahkam of hajj. We need to know all the ahkams of saum. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.